Borderlands 1 is a classic when it comes to speedrunning. When this game dropped in 2009, it wasn't long until speedruns started to happen. The route was quite simple back then. You farm enough XP, grab some good gear, and race to the end of the game. Sadly, most speedruns done for Borderlands 1 in the early days are ancient history. As time went on, those speedruns were erased from the face of the internet. There are fragments of videos here and there, but from what I was able to find, it looks like early speedruns beat the game in over 3 hours playing Lilith. On SpeedDemosArchive.com, discussion started late 2009 stating that Lilith was the fastest speedrun character. She has some of the strongest skills, and great movement speed using her phase walk action skill. Over the next 4 years, a game route was pieced together by the community to beat Borderlands 1 as fast as possible. Major skips were found to help shave time off of runs. Back in 2013, speedrunners knew right away that beating the game in under 3 hours was doable. If they wanted to beat the game fast, they needed to avoid over-farming XP since that wastes a lot of time. The problem is that if you're under-leveled, the enemies in this game become very difficult. That didn't stop speedrunners from pushing through the challenge. The first bottleneck was the second boss, Bonehead. This guy had to be taken out in order to proceed, but his levels jump much higher than yours. That means that your guns would do no damage to him, and he would wipe you out in just a few bullets. The idea from the developers was to have you go out and do side missions to level up before taking on Bonehead. Since that isn't very fast for speedruns, the community finds a better way. It was found that you could jump over a gate and grab a car much earlier than you're supposed to. Using a car, you can run over Bonehead and insta-kill him. Sadly, car strats like this cannot be used throughout the whole entire run. It can be used on the bosses Janus Cobb and Taylor Cobb. Other than that, that's about all you can run over for bosses. That means that you will eventually have to farm XP somewhere. That is when the crab farm was found. The crab worms over at the Lost Caves give a ton of XP. The issue is, they are kind of a high level. That won't be a problem though, because it was found that if you throw a bouncing Betty grenade under them, if it lands just right, it will instantly kill them and give you a lot of XP. This is where speedrunners spent a little time leveling because doing side missions was very slow. Another popular skip that was found was Sledge Skip. It allows you to skip most of the normal path through the Headstone Mines, and that means you can get to Sledge faster and start the boss fight. Now, what about the gear choices for the run? Sledge's Shotgun. This weapon is a guaranteed drop from Sledge and it is overpowered. It has insanely high damage at the cost of accuracy, so if you are not point blank in the enemy's face with this weapon, it will not perform well. As an added bonus, this weapon also has insanely high knockback. With just the right angles, you can send enemies flying. For the rest of the run, this weapon will be used alongside with an exploit, drop reloading. If you drop your weapon and pick it back up, your gun will be instantly reloaded. That will skip the slow reloading animation and allow you to deliver more shots faster. Using Sledge's Shotgun, that made Skagzilla a fast and easy farm for XP. From here, Sledge's Shotgun was used to take out the rest of the bosses. Along the way, Rack Hive was farmed for the XP needed for the rest of the run. It was also found that you could use a grenade jump to skip up to Baron Flint, and that allows you to skip all the enemies down below. Oh, remember earlier I mentioned that Sledge's Shotgun has knockback? It's used to launch Baron Flint off the map for an easy kill. I love that strat. The last of the bosses are defeated with the same shotgun, and it was time for the final boss, the Destroyer. This boss is a joke. The community found that bouncing betties could be thrown into his mouth for massive damage. Then you spam Sledge's Shotgun to finish off the boss. With all of these tricks and glitches, Borderlands 1 was now being completed in the 2 hour and 30 minute range. Over the next 5 years, small optimizations were made for the route. Speedrunners used them to push the record even lower. As of 2018, getting around the 2 hour mark was normal for a Lilith speedrun. But how was over half an hour shaved off of the runs back from 2013? More XP farming was cut out of the route, the movement was optimized, kills were done faster, and a couple of new skips and tricks started to emerge. It was found that Lilith could jump out of the end of phase walk to carry her speed a little bit further. This might not seem like a big deal, but having better movement throughout the whole entire run does save a lot of time. There was also bridge skip. Instead of waiting for the bridge at Rust Commons to slowly come down, you could jump around it by using the rocks on the side of the bridge. A grenade jump did have to be used though to get to the other side. An element swap glitch was also found for grenades too. If you throw a bouncing Betty, you can swap over to a different elemental grenade before the Betty blows up. After that Betty blows up, it will now apply the newly equipped element to it. This trick was used to create a corrosive bouncing Betty to quickly take down McCloud and his minions. At this point, it didn't seem like there was much more time that could be saved for the speedrun. That was until a glitch was rediscovered that broke Borderlands 1 speedrunning forever.
So now, all we do for this is start the burp engine. And we watch as they all die.
Welcome to Borderlands. I'm sorry I had to. Mordecai now jumped from being one of the slowest characters to speedrun to the top. You might be wondering, why wasn't this glitch done earlier? The answer, everyone sort of forgot it existed. For some backstory, the Infinite Bloodwing glitch was a very old glitch that was patched less than 3 months after the game released. In fact, if it wasn't for the old written patch notes listed online, this glitch may have never been rediscovered to this day. A user by the name of Goliath was looking through the old patch notes and saw there was a fix for a multiple Bloodwings glitch. This glitch did sound like it had potential for a speedrun, but there was one problem. No one had a copy of the old version of this game. Without the patch 1.0, you cannot do the Infinite Bloodwing glitch. By a hair of luck, it turned out that one of these speedrunners known as Pentalix actually had a patch 1.0 CD copy of Borderlands 1. Thanks to him, the community was able to copy the patch files from the disc, and after a lot of trial and error, they were finally able to apply the patch 1.0 to their games. The Infinite Bloodwing glitch lived on. One side note, patch 1.0 was very unstable. Speedrunners knew if they wanted to use this patch for their speedruns, then they have to be aware of the many crashes that can occur. You could be on a very good pace for a speedrun, but then your game randomly crashes. You just pray that it doesn't. Anyways, the way this glitch works is that if you look at the floor and spam your Bloodwing action skill, then the faster that you spam action skill at the floor, the more Bloodwings you summon. After messing with the Bloodwing glitch for a bit, Goliath realized how broken this was. Combine that with a free scroll mouse wheel and you have an army of birds in your pocket. For those not familiar, a free scroll mouse wheel allows you to do hundreds of inputs in a single second. Just bind an input to your mouse wheel and spin as fast as you can. However, free scroll mouse wheels spark a lot of controversy when it comes to speedrunning. Some communities allow it when it comes to certain speed games, and many ban it since it puts console gaming at a huge disadvantage. In the end, it was ultimately agreed on by the community that free scroll mouse wheels were allowed for Borderlands 1. By binding your action skill to mouse wheel, you could spawn a wall of birds on demand. With this glitch, everything was destroyed in your path. It was almost like a shoal of piranhas eating away at their prey. That meant that less XP needed to be farmed, and enemies died even faster. It helped shave another half an hour off the run. The average time runners were getting now was around the 1 hour and 30 minute mark. For the next 3 years, the world record was only improved in small bits. It seemed that the last major time save was found, and there wasn't much more that could be done to push the time lower. However, there was a couple of small tricks found back in 2020 that did help save a little more time. A user by the name of Captain Fufu found that you could spawn a second car near Sledge's map, and you could use that car to teleport back later on. Then, a user by the name of Darksmoke found that you could use a free scroll mouse on car boosting to have floaty jumps. This allowed for a quicker completion of the Orbit Achieve challenge for a good chunk of XP. You complete this challenge by having your car in the air for at least 5 seconds. Floaty car jumps were also used to make your way over to the Doll Headlands faster. You can float over the camp instead of driving all the way around. As of today, the world record sits at 1 hour, 25 minutes, and 39 seconds by Deceptix. Just for a comparison, that is almost 2 hours faster than the runs back in 2009. With a dedicated community, it shows just how much we can work together to make speedruns like this possible. Will this be the last major time save from Borderlands 1, or will something new be discovered? Only time will tell. Thank you for watching.